Welcome to this episode of the DJ Interview with your host, Harry the Big Dog.
What's up, everyone? That be me, Harry the Big Dog here, and this is the DJ Interview. Tonight's guest, he is from my old neck of the woods in Queens. This is a small world. I gotta tell you, everyone. But he is an open format DJ. He's not as old as us. Some of our veteran DJs. He's been in the game for 10, 11 years out of Queens, New York, everyone. Let me bring him on right now. What is up, my brother, DJ Deem?
Harry, what's going on, man? How you doing?
I am chilling. Let me bring up some messages. What is up, Jason?
What's going on, Jason?
Checking in. Yes, it is episode 99. Yeah. We one step closer to 100.
That's a big number, man. Congrats.
So I know. Thank you. So let's get your story going, because when I talked to you last night, I was like, no, wait. I don't want to hear the rest of it. I want to hear it as the audience hears it too. So right. Definitely let everybody know your government name if you want, and how you got your DJ name, because I think this is going to be a story here.
All right. So my full name is Kadeem Rose. And my DJ name is DJ Deem. And I got my name literally because I started DJing like as a full-time DJ like overnight. Like it happened right away. And it was between DJ Deem and DJ Checkmate. And I'm so glad I went with Deem. Yeah, man. But long story short, I actually had a media company that I was running, and I've been doing this full time, like you mentioned. I've been doing this full time for about 5 years now. And within that 5 years, I had a media company, and I was running that company with a partner. Unfortunately, it didn't really work out. And I knew how to DJ. It was something I've been doing since college. And I basically told myself, this is going to be my last step at entrepreneurship. Let me see. My whole time within that time of me leaving my last job, I basically was trying to put everybody else on, putting my energy into everybody else. And this was the first time I'm like, all right, let me put the energy into myself and see what happens. And, 5 years later, I'm paying my music and paying my bills, DJing. I'm traveling places,
wow.
DJing. I'm able to do everything that I've wanted to do since I was a kid. And it didn't always start out as DJing. It just was something that I ended up falling into and going, wow, I'm really good at this. I love music. And it's paying my bills right now. So let's use this as the vehicle to get to the next step. And that's where I'm at now. Yeah.
Wow. So when we talked offline, you said you started out as a producer first.
Yes.
And that's strange, because it's usually the other way around, where the DJs DJ and then produce.
Right.
So explain that part.
So while I was it started off in high school. In high school, my boys and I, we would go over to one of my boys' crib. His name was Jason. and we just download beats from the internet, Kanye beats, Pharrell beats, Timbaland beats, and we just go into his basement, and he had like this little boiler room, and we would connect this USB microphone from PlayStation 3 and hang it up above like the little furnace thing, and then we'd be rapping in there, recording vocals. And I was always like, I like these beats, but I want my beats to sound a different way. So
Right.
when I got to college, I actually sat down and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna buy a keyboard, I'm gonna get the programs and everything, and I'm gonna start making my own beats. And my room just became that spot where everybody would come and we just like make music and just rap all day and just have a lot of fun. And one night, one of my boys goes, all the best producers are DJs, right? And I'm like,
Hmm.
all right, cool. I took it as a challenge, and I went out and I actually went out to buy a controller that very same week. And
Right.
that's when I actually started like taking DJing a little bit more serious. Because prior to that, I did have some experience here and there DJing, but back when I was a kid, if you told me I was gonna be a full-time DJ, I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm gonna be a rapper. I'm gonna be on the stage rapping and creating beats. I'm the next Kanye. What are you talking about, a DJ? And I just fell into it. In college, I started DJing all the college parties. They gave you $20 and a beer, and you were just like, all right, cool, like let's do this. It's party
Let's
time.
do it.
In college, $20 goes a long way.
I
So
get you a lot of ramen noodles.
man, what? Everything. So it wasn't until like later on into my music career, I could say that I actually was like, all right, I can do this full time. But it was the first time I actually got paid from music that made me realize like, okay, wow, like there's money in this. And this actually happened out at South by Southwest, out in Austin, Texas. And
Hmm.
I actually had my own event out there, that I was hosting with my media company. And after that's kind of where everything fell apart with the company. But by some work, the universe just put everything into place at that point in time. And another promoter that was out there saw that I was DJing for my event, and he hit me up and he's like, yo, I need a DJ for my event. And I told him I'm not a DJ like that, but I could do it. He was like, well, I got like $100 for you. And I'm like, okay, we could do this. And ended up doing it, and it was pretty cool because there was artists that pulled up that I wasn't expecting. Fresher had came out, and at that time he had just dropped the song Wait a Minute. So it was a really, really big song at that time. So I got to meet him, and then I got to play his song, and it was a really good look. So when I got back to New York, that's when I realized like, all right, like maybe I can do this and see what
Right.
happens. And that's how I fell into becoming DJ Deem, because as soon as I got back, I'm like, I need a DJ name. And my name just happened to be Deem, and nobody called me Deem at the time. That's the funny part. I just needed a name, and
Uh,
Checkmate wasn't it.
yeah, you lucky you didn't take checkmate.
And it was spelled with the M and the number 8, like an infinity sign.
Ah.
It was bad.
Everybody had those names back in the day. So now, speaking of back in the day, which I was about to say,
Mm.
the time frame when you first started producing, what year was this?
It's about 2009, 2010, around then. Yeah, probably closer to 2009, because that was my freshman year in college, 2009.
Now,
Yeah,
did you just make, or were you with a crew just make beats, or actually went
I
through
was
the whole
I was the only
process?
one. I was the only
Okay.
one that was committed to making beats. Everybody else just wanted to get on the mic. It was just like, all right, I came up with this beat today. Anybody want to rap on it? Because during this time, my freshman year in school, I actually founded my own record label, which started off me trying to put everybody else on, so
Right.
eventually I could get on. Like I was trying to do like the ASAP kind of like what should I say, like the the way how they went with theirs.
Mhm.
So ASAP Rocky got on, excuse me, ASAP Rocky got on, ASAP Ferg got on, and then the rest of the ASAP mob ended up getting on. So I figured, like if I do it that way and put one artist on, we'll all make it, and then we could all just make music for the rest of our lives. So I took a step back from becoming like the face, and I
Right.
ended up managing 4 artists at that time while I was still in school. And
Wow.
yeah, so I was a freshman in school, managing 4 artists, managing a record label, still making my beats in the back because I'm like, once we make it, I got to be ready. Like that was my mindset. I'm like, Jay-Z's gonna come to me for a beat. I gotta make sure I got a beat for him. Blueprint 3 didn't even drop at that time. So in my head, I'm like, yo, I could probably get on. But we had that record label, and this was definitely before everything was like super, super digital. We ended up getting a distribution deal before like DistroKid was kind of big and everything. Um,
Wow.
yeah, so it was a label called Blue Pie that was a subsidiary of Sony located out in Australia.
Mm,
So yeah, we were networking like crazy, like everywhere. It didn't matter if you were in New York or if you were in Canada, it didn't matter. Australia, we were going to talk to you, we're going to tell you what we were doing and what we're trying to do too.
right.
Yeah.
Wow. So now you do this producing thing, you get into the DJing. What type of equipment did you come on? Because you're already kind of past the vinyl stage. So you probably was born digital or what?
So for me, I was right in between that switch over between vinyl, CDs, and digital. So when I was in college, they were still using vinyls, they were still using CDs. I mean, high school, they
Mhm.
were still using vinyls and they were still using CDs. So excuse me. So when I was messing around with my homies, I was actually learning on techniques. That's where they were showing me. A couple of them though, they did have Serato at the time, so they had the Serato vinyls for what hold on, sorry, 1 second. For what they were doing. But sorry, I just lost my train of thought.
You
But
said they had the
yeah,
Serato
I think
vinyls.
my headphone just got like disconnected or something.
Oh,
Yeah, I think I'm back now. So yeah, they had the Serato vinyl, so I learned using turntables. I didn't learn on the controller. So when I got the controller, it was more of like, all right, I already know how to beat match. I basically know what I'm doing. It's just a matter of getting to the next part, which was learning how to like pick certain songs and like what
right.
songs for certain situations, how to even like jump from genre to genre. And I started off learning mostly dancehall, so mostly rhythms and running rhythms and things like that. Yeah, so that's where I started from, and then once I got to college, that's when I got the controller and I was able to start experimenting more. So I started getting into I got into more hip hop. I started getting into like EDM stuff like dubstep.
Hmm.
Started learning about that. But yeah, I had it right in the middle, right in the middle. So I got to fill both out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're an open format DJ.
Yes.
Explain to the audience what an open format DJ is.
So I don't stick to one genre. I play any and everything that you can think of, whether it's country music, whether it's rock and roll, hip hop, dancehall, disco, funk, you name it. Like the other day, I was playing in Manhattan and I played an Indian set, and like these Indian guys are in there and they lost their minds. And I also try to blend genres a lot.
Hmm.
Like I'll blend rock and hip hop because it goes together so well. Especially like your classic hip hop records. I got your boom bap on it. You throw that over some Aerosmith, you throw it over some, you name it. Like there's so much that you could put it over
Right.
and it just works. And sometimes we got to think out the box as DJs, especially when you have a mixed crowd. You have to be able to say, all right, I see that I have my middle-aged white over there, but then I have a group of 25-year-old blacks over here. And this actually happened to me last Friday, and I had to play for
Mm,
both because it was a wedding. I have to play for both. I can't stick to one.
right.
So you have to be able to have that knowledge to say, all right, how do I bounce back and forth with two different age ranges, two different cultures? Because that's what we're playing for. It's different cultures. You have to be
Definitely.
familiar with the culture. And it actually went great. It was one of my favorite sets because I love the open format. I didn't have to stick to one thing. Uh, we were, my MC and I, we were just in there just playing so much, man. We played Celine Dion. He came out, had his phone out, had everybody in there waving their phone. Man, we played Jack and Diane. We even played like we had a whole soca set too. Played that, but that's in my opinion And my definition, that's what an open format DJ is. Like, you're not stuck to one style. You play everything, and you have no limits when it comes to music.
Right. Wow, nice definition. I couldn't have said it better myself. But doing the open format, I was getting out what I was thinking. Doing the open format as opposed to doing a set hip hop or a set disco or a set EDM, all the time. That's what you're known for. Is it one over the other, or you just like the open format because you do have the freedom of playing whatever you feel like playing?
I think it's actually, once again, going back to the word culture, the culture that I was brought up in, I listen to everything. So every song has an emotion or a feeling attached to it. So I think for me, I know how a Fall Out Boy song is going to hit a certain age range compared to somebody that's stuck saying that, not stuck, but they saying that they're going to master Caribbean music. They're probably not going to understand what that would look or feel like. But for me, I know what that is. So growing up, I was born into the digital age, like right at the beginning of it. So, when we had the iPod classics that you could store 500,000 songs on, I made sure to find 500,000 songs on LimeWire to fill up my iPod.
You went back to LimeWire. Wow.
Yes. Yeah, man. Yes. So I was listening to rock. I was listening to hip hop. I was listening to reggae. I was listening anything. Country music, opera music. Like, I would just start downloading and just listening to different things. And I think that's why now, like, I enjoy the open format, especially in my age range, because I know what that culture feels like, and what we grew up in, and how certain music is going to affect us. So that's why I do enjoy it. And what's up, Lord? I see you, man. Appreciate you, bro.
What is up, everyone? And just to reset the room for everybody that came in, this is Harry the Big Dog with the DJ interview, and my special guest is DJ Deem from Queens, New York, my old neck of the woods. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. Like, literally. It's places you only know if you live there.
Yep.
But now I lost my train of thought. You got me going.
It happens, man. That means your brain is going.
It's just going. I started talking about the whole neighborhood, and it just lost it.
Right.
But have you been overseas playing, out the country playing?
Yes. It's actually a funny story. I got booked out in London, and this happened. It happened at the top of 2020. So I went out to London, I believe it was like March, and I got back. I stayed out there for a week. I got booked for the weekend, but I decided to go out there for some extra days. It was my first time ever being there. So I'm like, I'm not just gonna go there for one gig. So I get there, and this is when COVID just starts to become like a thing. And I got back to New York on that Monday, and they shut the city down on that Wednesday. So I was this close to spending all of quarantine in London.
In London.
Yeah. And it kind of sucked, because I felt like during that time, that's when my career had gotten to a certain level. And coming back and then everything like shutting down, it hurt. It definitely hurt a bit, because it's like, man, like I got to where I wanted to be, and just like that, we just spent a year inside the house. But
so
yeah,
now
with that,
you come back from London, luckily, and not have to spend 2 years there somewhere.
I would have had a different accent right now.
So you get back, and what happens when everything shuts down? Were you like all the rest of the DJs and sitting home? That's one of
Yeah.
the reasons why I started this show, because I
Right.
had you guys' attention.
Yeah, because we're running around all day, man.
Yeah,
Even us just trying to get in touch this weekend was insane.
it was crazy.
Yeah.
We
Um,
connected like 4 or 5 times playing
definitely.
text tag.
Text tag, phone tag. I'm like, yo, I called you on the way to my gig, and I'm like, yo, man, I'm on the way. I got like 2 minutes, but we could talk real quick.
We can talk for 60 for 92 secones.
Yeah, Fame was going on. That's actually my MC right there, man.
Oh,
Shout out
what's
to
up?
DJ Fame in the building, man. One of the dopest DJs too. I learned a lot from him. Um,
DJ Fame.
yes. So when I got back from London, at this time in New York, they were making it seem like it was only gonna last a couple of days to a couple of weeks. And we were just like, all right, cool, like we'll chill out for a bit. But then one of the people that I work with in the city, in Manhattan for my residencies,
Mhm.
started texting me, and he's like, hey man, we just lost this spot. They don't want us coming in. They don't want us coming in. And I'm like, whoa, okay, now, because I do this full time.
Yeah.
So in my head, I'm like, all right, well, I'm not getting paid this week. And then another week goes by, and then another week goes
Mm,
by. So I think it started to become a mental battle at one point of like, what do I do? Like, is this the end of my DJ career? Um,
right.
you start to think that way because of the fact that you're not making money. There's nothing that you can do about it. We're all just sitting around trying to figure out what's next. But I could say the one thing that did save me was the fact that I took care of the business side of my business, and I turned my company into a full LLC with me as an employee. So I was able to apply for all the things that the government was providing. So I was able to get unemployment. I was able to get the EIDL loans and all of that stuff because I took care of the business side. And that after I ran through all of my savings, I was able to use
Mhm.
that and kind of get me through. But I'm not gonna lie, I started looking for jobs. I went on Indeed and started applying because I'm like, I can't keep doing this, like that's something's gotta give. And luckily I managed to figure out and learn a lot of things too in the process. I learned a lot of different things with businesses. I learned about trading in the stock market, which shout out to Lord. We would wake up literally like 7 a.m. every morning and get on the computer and start looking at charts and talking about like what's going on in the market. And I don't think I ever would have been able to do that if COVID-19 didn't happen.
Right.
We had that time to sit down and like basically sit us down and be like, all right, you could focus on something else now. Like you can build like your mind more, like you have this time, take
Yep.
advantage of it. So I think it did work out in my favor because half of the things I know now I wouldn't know if it wasn't for that.
Which enhanced your where you are now.
Absolutely. Absolutely, because it was more than DJing. I knew how to
Right.
DJ, like, I knew how to beat match, I knew how to organize music, I knew how to play music, I knew all of that stuff, but it was all the stuff I didn't have time to do when I'm running around back and forth from Queens to Manhattan every single weekend. Um, it was like, "All right, so what do we do with this time? I can either sit around and sulk and cry about it or take advantage of the situation after I've been begging to have time for the past 2, 3 years." You know?
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, people wanted it and then got it and didn't know how to act.
Didn't know what to do with it.
Didn't know what to do with all that free time now.
I got to watch some TV shows and movies though. I was got to do that.
Oh man. So I'm looking at my notes here, and it's telling me that you were planning your own major music festivals.
Oh, I'm looking that's the main goal
Looking
right
to
there.
do.
Yes,
Okay.
that is the
Yes.
main goal.
I we have to talk offline about this, but
Oh,
definitely.
okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. That is the
definitely.
main goal right there.
So let's stay on this business of
Oh
DJing
yeah.
for just a few more minutes, two,
Mhm,
3 more minutes.
mhm.
What does a DJ, uh, maybe some aspiring DJ out here that's listening to our video cast podcast, what what advice do you give them about turning this into a real business? Because you do this full time. It's not like you got a job and you do this on the weekends and
Yeah.
occasional Friday or Thursday if it's a holiday.
Yeah. Thanksgiving weekend coming up. But
Yeah.
the biggest advice that I can give is treat it like a business, not a DJ business, not my side hustle. Treat it as a business. Learn everything about business and apply that to DJing. You are selling a service the same way how somebody that's a plumber or electrician is selling a service. People need DJs. So when you get on a call, you need to learn how to sell yourself. You need to learn how to you need sales skills. Sales is one of the first jobs ever created by man. So you have to know how to sell your products that you have. You need to learn how to sell yourself. Like, why am I choosing you? Why am I spending my hard-earned money on you rather than Dr. Joe Schmo up the block, DJ
Yeah.
Joe Schmo up the block, like he's charging me 200, but you're charging me 2,000. Like
Mhm.
most people think that way. Like, all right, I'm going to go with the guy that's 200, but no, you're not just paying for a DJ, you're paying for an experience, you're paying for professionalism. There's so many horror stories that you hear about DJs showing up late. The wedding's supposed to start at 6 o'clock. The DJ shows up at 5:30.
Right.
We're showing up 2 hours before. We're setting up, we're asking all the questions, we're getting everything in place. Like treat it as a business. Find out what you need to file with your state to turn it into a LLC or S corp, C corp, whatever you want to do, because just like me, it saved me during COVID, because if I
Right.
didn't do that, I would have not been able to have all of those benefits that all these other businesses and companies were getting. But I decided to do that prior to, and it helped out. You want to find out how to file your taxes. You want to find out, what am I doing at the end of the year? Like, am I doing contract jobs? Am I getting something in the mail? What do I do with that? Do
Mhm.
I track my miles? Things like that. You want to just treat it as a business. So don't go in thinking this is a DJ business. I'm just going in that way. No, this is a company that you are running. I would say that's the biggest advice.
Just happen to be a DJ company that
Yeah,
you're running.
right. It's another company. Like I said, you got a plumber up the block that's selling a service, and you got a DJ up the block that's selling a service. There's no
Mm.
difference.
So in that whole time of the lockdown, did you end up getting a job, or what happened there?
So it's really funny because along with DJing and production, I do a lot. And within that, and when we were talking, it was funny because you were mentioning videos, right?
Yeah.
So uh like I mentioned before, I had a media company. So I was shooting videos, I was editing videos, I was doing everything. I also do graphic designs.
Mm.
So I actually designed my logo that you see. That I did that same design.
Wow. Yeah.
So I knew how to do all of these other stuff. So I just started doing a lot of odd jobs and just like saying, all right, I'm not just talented and knowledgeable in music. Like, I know how to do videos. So I did video editing. I did graphic design work. There's a lot of other stuff. Sometimes I forget the amount of things that I do. It's like one of my friends will hit me up and be like, yo, Deem, like, can you help me with this? And I'm like, oh yeah, I do know how to do that. Like, even the live streaming we were talking about yesterday, I'm like, yeah, I know how to do it. But
I
I'm
know how to
just
do it. Just talk about OBS and all
yeah.
that.
But yeah, man, I've just always been a hands-on person, just always trying to learn a little bit of everything. Because I just feel like if you have a little bit of knowledge, it doesn't matter. You don't have to be a master at it, but you can get your point across more. It's
Right.
kind of like speaking another language. Yeah, I can go ahead and use a translate app and speak to somebody in Spanish, but if I can speak to you directly, you're going to get a lot more because there's certain tones in my voice, there's certain body language, things like that, when we are speaking. So if you even just know a little bit, it
Right.
works. It helps you. It helps you.
Man. This is so dope, bro. So now you've been overseas. You've done a lot of stuff in the 10, 11 years that you've
Yeah.
been doing. I've never gotten to DJ overseas.
I I did Europe. I did Canada too. I did
Yeah,
Canada.
Canada is
I
overseas, even
did.
though they're next door.
Right.
They are overseas. Wow.
Yeah.
And this is, I'm assuming this is because of the open format that you can adapt to any type of music and people like that.
The funny part is the gig out in London was just a straight West Indian party. No
Really?
open format, straight West
No,
Indian. I
nothing.
I played straight dancehall and soca the whole night. I threw in like one Afrobeat song, but
Hmm.
there's a lot of West Indians over there in London, man. And the guy heard me play out here. He heard me play like a dancehall soca set. And so he was like, "Yo, like you're really good at this." And I'm like, "Yeah." So he ended up just hitting me up and like, "Yo, like come out there." But I wouldn't say it has anything to do with my music or DJing that's gotten to me all these places. It really just has been my drive and just always connecting and networking and talking to people and trying to get your name in the room. Even if you're not in there, get your name in the room, plant the seed, because you never know where it's going to lead you.
Definitely.
And
Definitely.
that's how my career started. It started at two Southwests before that one that I told you about. And it was just planting the seed. And one day a guy calls me up and he's like, "Yo, can you cover me out in Manhattan?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah, of course.
Of course. First DJ gig ever in Manhattan, man. I'll never forget that.
Mm,
And that's really what it is planting the seeds and just trying to just get yourself out there. That's how you do it.
definitely. Oh man, that these I don't know if everybody's picking this up, but these are platinum nuggets dude is throwing. The networking part.
Yeah.
I get in conversations to where people are like, how do you get into the wedding business? Or how do you
Mhm.
get into,
Mhm.
this type of DJing? How do you get into this place? And it's a lot about networking
Mhm.
and
Net
just like you said, putting your name out there, throwing it out there, meeting different people.
Mhm.
And the important part is staying in contact with these people.
Yeah.
You can
Mhm.
meet and have a stack of cards like that, but if you don't, follow up with them on occasion, it doesn't have to be about business.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's more of like you just want to you want to build a rapport, you want to build a relationship with these people, especially as an upcoming DJ. You want to
Yeah.
be around other DJs, because what one thing you got to realize is there's only 3 days in a weekend, which means that we can only do 3 to 4, maybe 5 gigs a weekend. Some
Hmm.
of us are getting offers for 6, 7 gigs a weekend.
Wow.
Yeah.
And some are getting none.
Yeah, somebody's gonna get called for those
Yeah.
extra 2 gigs, and they're
Hmm.
gonna go, "Yo, man, can you cover me here? Like, can you cover me here?" And it happens to me now where I have a list of DJs, and I'm like, "Yo, like, I have my residencies, but I do private gigs, so if I'm not doing a private gig, if I'm not doing a wedding or sweet 16 birthday party, I'm at my residency, but if I'm doing one of those, I'm calling somebody up, and I'm saying, 'Hey, man, can you cover me?'" But that's
Yeah.
how you start planting those seeds, because now
Hmm.
you're in the middle of Manhattan. You're around all of these people that are from who knows what parts of the world.
Right.
Eventually, if you've done your part back home and you practice, once you get out there, they're gonna recognize and be like, "Oh, this guy is nice." Then boom, your career takes off.
Yeah.
Like that's where it starts in my eyes. That's where it starts. You gotta be outside. You gotta be networking. You gotta put the work in. What is it? Hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard. You
Hmm.
ain't even got to be the best DJ. We see it all the time.
We see it all the time.
We see it all the time. You're like, "Yo, how is this person playing here?" But what you don't realize is how much work they did on the back end, networking
Yeah.
and talking to people and actually asking somebody like, "Yo, can I get on?"
Hmm.
You'd be surprised how many times people just be like, Yeah, sure. Like, go ahead. I do it. People come up to me at some of my gigs. I'm tired, and they're like, "Yo, man, you mind if I get on?" I'm like, "I'm still getting paid. Go ahead, bro."
Yeah. Knock yourself out.
I'll stand around. So I'll stand around for like 4 or 5 minutes just to make sure they know what they're doing. Then after that, I go have a seat. I'm sitting down. I'm texting people. I'm relaxing at that point
Hmm.
because, like this person's there. But now this person, I see who they are. I'm getting their contact after because I've heard them spin. I know what they know that I know that they know what they're doing. But then there's other people in there that are listening as well.
Right.
So you gotta really just think about it like that. Like, yo, let me just put myself in the situation and it'll happen.
It'll happen.
Mhm,
Definitely. So now, when we were, attempting to connect
mhm.
over the weekend, you had a number of gigs. How many gigs did you have over this past weekend of the what is it, the 13th of November as of the airing of this show?
So I start on Wednesdays. I have a residency in financial district called Melt House. I do their happy hour from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. So that's when my week technically starts.
Wow.
Um, I used to do there on Thursday, but they have another DJ that's there on Thursday. But I'm actually
Hmm.
super grateful for it because I used to DJ Wednesday to Sundays at times, and it would get very tiring. So I have Thursdays off, and then Thursdays I'm now prepping for the rest of the weekend. So this past weekend, shout out to DJ Fame if he's still in here. DJ Fame and I, we had a wedding at Jericho Terrace out in Long Island, and we killed it. We did our thing, man. That was the one I think I called you on the way to. I
Yeah.
don't remember. I think it was that one. Yeah. So I grabbed him. We did that one, and that one ended. I think we ended at like 12 o'clock or midnight. So done packing up. I think like around like one or so. And then Saturday we had a 21st birthday party. So we did that. That party ended at 12 midnight. And
Mm.
then I had to go to my residency to start at 12 midnight to DJ until 4 a.m. So now one of my boys, shout out to Lord, he pulls up from the Bronx to Long Island. So he pulls up,
DX, shout out.
yeah, shout out. And he pulls up to my set. I'm going off. I'm doing my thing, and we're both just like having a good time, and whatever. And I'm just like, yo, man, like, you want to go back and just like go make music after this? Mind you, it's 4 a.m. So I pack my stuff up. We come back, man, and to be honest, he didn't leave until about noon. We spent about 7, 8 hours just working on music, just the whole time, just working on music. And that was this weekend. So like I'm committed to it, man. Like this is my
Mm.
life, and I
That
love
was
it.
just the past
That
weekend.
was just the past weekend.
So you get a break yesterday, which was Monday, today, which is
Today.
DJ Interview Tuesday. I'm naming it, I'm calling it.
Yep.
And Wednesday, your day starts again.
It starts right back up. So I look
I
at
mean, your
Monday.
week starts again.
Yeah. So I look at it. Mondays and Tuesdays are my weekends, man. Like uh, Monday's my Saturday for people, and Tuesday's my Sunday for people. Because Thursday's usually spent getting ready for the weekend, prepping the music, getting all of that stuff
Mhm.
together. I take prep work very, very seriously. I want to make sure that everything is in place at all times. I'd rather be over prepared than under prepared because there's too many
Definitely.
situations that I've already gotten caught in and said I could have been more prepared for that. And it happened 2 weekends ago at the New York City Marathon. So I DJ'd out there. Funny
Wow.
story. Yeah, I get out there an hour early for my gig, and I get to the corner where they have the marathon, and my first time ever seeing it, born and raised in New York, so it was an amazing experience. But then
Mhm.
I look up and I see that the venue is across the street.
Oh, yo. Yeah, you think they was looking at you like,
I went up to the cop. I said, "How?" I'm on 78th Street. I go up to the cop. I'm like, "How do I get over there?" He goes, "You either go down to 40th Street or 120th Street."
ah,
Yeah. So I had to get back to my car and drive all the way around the city, find
Because they got
parking
everything
again,
blocked off.
everything blocked off. The whole thing,
Yeah.
because you got this whole marathon. They're running through the whole city.
Yeah.
All the Third Avenues closed, Second Avenues closed down. So I ended up getting to the gig late because there's traffic out there. But I was there an hour early across the street, man.
Mm.
But you know, they definitely could have told me that what side of the street they were on, but then it also falls on me where I could have done that research, but I've never been in that situation before to
Yeah.
know to ask that question. But now
Now you know.
anytime I'm in the city and it's a major event, I'm asking, what side of the street are you on?
Mhm.
You know, because it could have been a lot worse.
It's all still a learning process with,
Every day.
you know, knowing where to be,
Mhm.
for one,
Mhm.
and what time to be.
Right.
Some people, you know, like you, and I think you told me you got a Rain 1.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a simple hookup as
Mhm.
long as you got something to hook up to. So, you know,
Right.
5 minutes you could be hooked up,
Yeah.
but you
I've
still
done it.
want to get there. Yeah.
Mhm.
You still want to get there on time,
Mhm.
or um in the military we used to say, if you're on time, you're late.
Right. Right.
So you want to get there in a good amount of time, because sometimes you do have to bring your own self down
Mhm.
from either rushing or, you know, thinking about whatever you was doing. The situation with the marathon, now you got
Right.
to go 3,000 blocks
Man,
either
and I'm
left or
telling you,
right
I'm
just to get
pouring
across the
sweat.
street.
Pouring sweat because you got to park like 4 city blocks away, man. You know, you can't just get a spot in the front. And I'm
Right.
carrying this controller, my backpack, and I'm like just pouring sweat. I get to the spot. I can only imagine how these people were looking at me. But
Mm.
long story short, with that set, that was a super open format. Like I played everything from like Ja Rule to Cher to I can't even Aerosmith. I played almost everything that day. I played Run
Mm.
DMC. I played Pop Smoke. Like I played everything that day. And I managed to do
Ah,
it, you know. But they definitely enjoyed it, and we actually locked that spot in after that. So showing up an hour late, it still managed to lock the spot in.
yeah, that's dope.
Yeah.
So, do you work with event planners or anybody, or you just kind of got a network of people that's now calling you for gigs?
So it depends. So like my residencies, there is a guy that I work with out in the city. So he has like bars and lounges out there.
Mhm.
So he's remember I said I planted a seed. And a guy was like, yo, I need coverage. Perfect thing, like I said, like for an upcoming DJ, guy hit me and
Yeah.
he said that he needed coverage for one night. I went to that spot, killed the set, and I got connected with him. Ever since he's like, yo, Deem, I have this spot, Deem, I have this spot. So that's how it's been with that. And here and there, like I'll go to like a bar or something, and for fun, like I'll get on, and then next thing you know, I have a residency again. That's actually how I got my 12 a.m. spot on Saturdays. But I love the 12 a.m. spot because it's not in the city, it's not in Manhattan, it's literally less than 10 minutes away from my house.
Oh,
So
dope.
I love it there, man. I literally went there one night after a gig just to have like a beer or two. Started speaking with the owner, told him I'm a DJ, and it was kind of like go ahead, like play real quick. And I'm like, all right, cool, did it. And ever since, rest is history. So that's how it really works with those, and it's very possible to do too. But as far as the private events, there is like a network, I would say, of previous clientele that do recommend me. But I also do Yelp, and I pay for Yelp ads, which I
Okay.
would always say, like, if you are renting and treat your business like a business, people are going to be looking for DJ services. So when they type in DJ services on Yelp, you want to pop up. So it's worth paying for the ads. So I do that, and I get at least like 1 to 2 emails per day. But it is a sales funnel, so you know you get all these calls, and you got to be able to close them. Yo, Crisis, what's going on, man? You got to be able to close on these people, and that's why I said like sales. Like you got to understand when you tell somebody, yeah, it's gonna be $3,000. You got to make sure that they're like, they're not like, whoa, nah, you got to tell them what they're paying for. You got to use
Right.
certain keywords.
I make sure they can afford you.
Yeah, I'll use keywords and make them feel like they can. I'll say, yeah, and
Yeah.
then your total, it'll probably only be like around 3,200. Like that's it. And it sounds like a lot less because I'm using a keyword. And once again, sales gem right here. If anybody wants something, if you use the word only when you tell somebody a price, it puts in their head that I'm actually getting a discount. This is not as expensive as I thought it would be.
As I thought, yeah.
Yeah, and those are some things that I'll do when I am talking to clients and I'm trying to close on them, and I'll be like, I'll tell them the deposit amount, and I'm saying, well, what do you use Venmo? Do you use Zelle, Cash App? And that's what I'm telling them so I can close. I'm not giving them the option to say, oh, I'm gonna call you back or let me go talk it over with somebody. No, it's like, oh yeah, I use Zelle. Like, oh, so you do take Zelle? Okay, that works. And there's sometimes I get off the phone and my phone vibrates and it's the Zelle deposit right
It's
there.
the deposit.
Yeah,
This is what I was talking about, ladies and gentlemen. These are platinum gems, platinum nuggets this dude is throwing out for sales.
Yep.
And you won't be that DJ that's looking for work all the time.
Not at all. You got to follow up though. You can't charge them that price.
Exactly.
And you got to make sure it's worth it. And that's how you get the recommendations where people will talk to other people, man.
Yeah. That is dope. Shout out to DJ Crisis. What's going on, bro?
What's up, bro?
Go ahead. Let's hit on where we used to live before. Shout out to the Queens area, Rochdale, St. Albans, yes. Roy Wilkins, and where we used to be in Rosedale.
Rosedale, yes.
Yo,
man, I grew up around here, man. I went to 195. I went to PS 195.
I didn't grow up around there. I just ended up there for about 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
And Snake Road. We talked
That's
about
crazy that you know Snake Road, because
you
that's
only
one of those,
know
if
about
you know
if you live there.
Yeah.
And that leads right to Kennedy
5
Airport.
towns, 5 towns, Kennedy Airport, less than 10 minutes. I'm surprised we're not catching the planes right now.
Right.
On a good day.
On a good day.
That's my background music, man. But yeah, man.
But shout out to everybody in that Queens area. It is just when you talk to people. Wait, let me give a shout out to DJ Level Kev for setting this up. I put like a blanket out, like, yo, I need a DJ. I couldn't get the other one that I had didn't answer me back in time, and I was getting a little antsy. So I was like, let me just put a blanket out there.
Yeah, nah, definitely
shout out to him. Super Dave. This is my producer boy out in
what's up?
Out in DFW, Texas.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Like Dallas?
Yeah.
I've been out there too, man.
Yeah. doing it everywhere, right?
Yeah. I'm working on it.
But now for the future, what's in the plans right now?
So in the immediate moment right now is to really start practicing more on my production end. Like that's really what I've been focusing on a lot. Like I've gotten the DJing side down, I've got the business side down, but I want to start taking basically the same way how I built my DJ career. I'm like, let me start doing that with my production career and see where it leads me. Like I've done it once, I could do it again. I technically did it twice, because first time pre-COVID, second time post-COVID, I had to start all over again, because everything that happened before that was no longer relevant. There's so much other things that have happened, and you're literally only as good as your last at bat. My last at bat was a year ago. So people aren't looking at me the same. I had to build a career back up, so I did it twice. So I'm like, third time's a charm. Let's do it with the production side, because the goals for the future, which we mentioned earlier, is the music festivals. I've always just been super passionate about creating, which is why I feel like I'm more passionate about production than anything, because it was just the fact that I'm creating the actual song. And you can create a vibe when it comes to DJing. You could create a mix, you could create all of these different things, but when I'm creating an emotion and I'm attaching an emotion to a song and I'm playing it for somebody and there's a connection to them that I can only do with art that I made. I
Yeah.
feel like that changes things, and that's why I want to do music festivals. But I don't want to do music festivals the same way how we see them nowadays. I want it to feel more like a Broadway show. I want it to
Right.
feel the music have a flow, and that's probably the DJ in me. Like let every artist come out at the right time. It's not just Drake. It's not just 21 Savage coming out. It's not just J. Cole. You feel me? So it's like, yo, man, like let's set this up as an experience. Yeah, you can
Mhm.
experience a festival, but like let's set this up where it's telling a story, because everybody's
Yeah.
already telling the same stories just with different sounds and different music, but we could probably do something bigger and better. So that's the goal, man. And then eventually biggest goal is to throw like a worldwide concert, and
Mm.
I want it to be free. I want every and anybody, if you want to come to this concert, there is no cost for you. Everything is paid for. You are allowed to come to this concert and enjoy yourself and experience music the way how it should be.
Wow.
That's what I really want to do with this music festival stuff. So I'm just getting started right now.
I know that. We got a question here from Jason. He's saying, do you have a dream project you've put off working on now that you're ready to tackle?
Yes, I would say it's the production. I've dropped projects in the past. I dropped a EP where I was actually rapping back in college. Not telling anybody the name of that because we could sweep that one under the rug. You can
Yes,
find it.
tell
Good
us.
job.
You're gonna be the first here. So everybody, all 3 billion people that look at this DJ interview is going to find it.
They will start looking for it now. And then I dropped the second project during COVID, during lockdown. That was a production project that I put out, but now I want to really start curating album projects and getting other artists to come on, and even having myself on there, and just not on a DJ Khaled self, like I'm not screaming out
Right.
DJ Deem, like I want to actually drop some bars and put my emotions on there. And that's probably what I've been putting off a lot, because I'm not used to it anymore. So it does feel weird to say, all right, I'm gonna put a project out that has my voice on it, um,
Mm,
that I'm actually putting raw emotions on, because you're
right.
making music, you're expressing what's in here, and sometimes it's hard to give that just to people you don't even know. Sometimes not all the time. There's gonna be somebody listening to it, and you're like, I don't want somebody judging me for that, but
Yep.
I do also realize that some of this music that I'm putting out might be a make or break for somebody for a certain reason. Music has the ability and that power to do that. And it's selfish of me to keep it for myself when this could be helping, saving, or changing somebody's life.
Yep.
So that's what motivates me now to say, all right, like, let's get this music out, man.
For real.
Yeah.
We got DJ Cam saying shout out to the DJ interview. Thank you.
Yes, yes.
What's up, DJ Deem?
Was good,
Heavy
was
hitter
good, man.
DJ
Thank you for tuning
Cam.
in.
Yeah,
Yes.
freeagentradio.com. That was my plug for him.
Dope, man. I gotta check that out.
Yes, sir. So now I you know what? I'm gonna keep that for offline. This music festival thing, because it is something that I've been looking to do for
Mhm.
some years, bro.
Wow. Mm.
Some years. I just don't know how.
Right, right.
And the more I put it out in the universe, the more people I get around, such as
Yeah.
you. And I hooked up with somebody else in North Carolina, and
Mm,
they're schooling me on things
mhm.
because I've seen some concerts, and it's like, you for real?
Yeah, you got a concert, you see
$95 for this, and it's got 20-minute gaps
Yes,
of nothing,
yes.
bro.
And then you hear the song come on, and then you're like, "Oh, no, I'm at the bar, I'm at
Yeah.
the snack stand. Now I'm running back." That
In the
happened to me.
bathroom.
Yeah, that happened to me. I went to the Kendrick concert out here, man, and I'm at the bar, And all of a sudden I hear the music come. I'm like, oh my God. Start running out there thinking it's Kendrick. It wasn't even him. It was Baby Keem. And not nothing against him, but it's like, and then I just sprinted all the way over here thinking that I'm about to miss the concert, you know?
But definitely, the TV aspect of it. Now, I talk to a lot of DJs, and I'm always saying, take pictures, get video of yourself if somebody's with you. I know it's hard to do when you're alone, but when somebody's with you, get pictures and everything, because it's part of your EPK and all your promotions of you actually in there, instead of me telling you. What's your take on it, since you are on the more business side of it?
It's very important, and I struggle with it. I do struggle with it. I get caught up in the moment a lot when it comes to DJing. My mind is so deep into music and this crowd that the last thing I'm thinking about is taking my phone up and recording. You know, especially
But
if
you got DJ Fame with you.
I know, and Fame will do it. So that's the only reason I remember now, because I'll see Fame with his phone out, and then I'm like, oh wait, I need to do the same thing. You know, he would record me and take pictures and everything. But when I'm by myself, man, like I'll be so stuck in the moment, I'm not even paying attention to it. Excuse me. But when it comes to EPK, so it's an electronic press kit.
Press kit, yeah.
Yeah. So basically, it's kind of, I would say the simplest way to put it is your portfolio. You know, it's gonna have pictures of you. It's gonna have what you've done.
Videos if you have.
Yeah, a lot of videos. It's really what you're gonna send out to people to say, like, this is who I am as DJ such and such. Which nowadays I feel like is getting replaced with Instagram. A lot more people are sending out that I've seen is their Instagrams, and I do the same thing, which is going back to the part where I'm mixed about it, because I forget I'm on Instagram, but if I didn't need Instagram, I wouldn't use it. It's just something about like putting everything out and just like bombarding people with stuff that makes me feel like, am I bothering them? But then I gotta realize, like,
your marketing.
Like, yeah, like Kadeem and DJ Deem are two different people. They're not the same person at all. So it's like, all right, like, let's do the promotion, let's put the stuff out. But what I actually did recently, a couple months, maybe like 6 months now, is I actually created a whole other Instagram just for everything that I do as a DJ, because my personal Instagram has things about me. It has, you know, like you put up that post of, I've been DJing for 10 years now, and shout out to music, blah, 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 that post, you know. But then you got your other post that's like, yo, pull up on me, I'm in New York City this weekend, you know. So when I'm sending it out to clients, sometimes I'm like, I don't want them seeing all of that.
Yeah.
So, and another reason that I do it too, here's another gem, is because Instagram pushes reels. So I make a page that's only reels, and I just put reels on that page. So when one hits for 15,000 views, which has happened, what are people going to do? They're going to go to your page and view your other reels. So that's what I ended up doing there. And once again, I didn't want people coming on and
gems. This dude is putting out platinum nuggets. People, listen.
Yes. It helps, man. That's what I ended up doing. But when it comes to if you're starting off, I would definitely say you need to be on social media heavy. Like you need to put mixes out. You need to put everywhere that you're at. You need to put your face. You need to have people knowing who you are. There's a reason why my logo is my face. That's done on purpose. It's because I keep something on my story every single hour of the day, because you'll always see my logo. That's why it's not me. It's my logo. So anytime you think DJ Deem, you see my logo, you think DJ Deem. It's recognizable. So people have themselves behind the turntables. No, I'm leaving it as my logo. And my logo is my face for people that don't know. It's me as a cartoon.
Right.
So it's very fun. It's very like happy. It's very cool. Think of it like a Bitmoji or emoji or whatever you would want to call it. But that's what it looks like. So I make sure every single day I have something on my story, so my logo stays on your timeline. It stays on your timeline.
Tell them that again. Hold on. Tell them that again, bro.
You gotta play you gotta play chess. You gotta play chess. So you gotta make sure every single day it doesn't matter what you're posting on your story. Post funny stuff. Post a reason that people are going to come back to your page. So for me, it's a lot of funny videos. It's a lot of things to make people chuckle. So they're going to click on it. I'm going to pop up more on their timeline. Have something there, have people seeing your logo all the time. And this way I don't have to worry about like, oh man, I didn't post today. It's fine because I have 200 people seeing my logo every hour of the day.
Uh, yes. DJ Christ said, yeah,
Yes.
we're gonna work on that when you get the time. Yes, bro.
Yeah, hit me, bro. We could do that.
And you're right, bro. There is a science to this.
Mm-hmm.
There is, and it's getting out there and getting out there the right way. Now, I have battles with people that actually stream online. I am totally against it. And I ain't ashamed to say it because there's a place to do that, like a paid Mixcloud account. I know they even getting on Twitch.
Yeah.
They're getting on them and starting to blank them out and cut their streams out because Twitch is getting bigger now. I'm not a proponent for live streaming where they don't want you. So I'm good with getting a paid Mixcloud account and going there and just, you know, like you said, having it out there. You can go live. People can see you. It's $15 as of the last time I seen it. A month. That's what, dope. $3 a week. $3 and change a week.
Right. And I gotta say though, just to like my 2 cents on that, it's not the platforms, in my opinion. It's the record labels. The record labels are the problem. They're the biggest root of the problem because when you get blocked, it's not Instagram saying we took your video down. Correct. It's saying, oh, Sony says you can't post this, and that's where the problem lies. And you know,
but I don't think it's a problem when you having records out there and people should be getting paid. You got enough ears, like you said. That one reel you did 15,000 views. Now, if that was one of their songs, that's 15,000 people they didn't get paid off of.
I have another one that's 25, and you want to know what the song is? It's Love Is the Message.
Yeah.
And the real, it wasn't even supposed to be, it was literally me just posting something that was in my phone. It wasn't even supposed to just go up. I'm like, I need to post something today, and I threw it up. And it's literally my plate of food next to my DJ equipment. And then you see a bunch of people dancing, and then that's it. It's like 8 seconds. That's it. But I got 25,000 views. So you're 100% right. I think though, in my opinion, in the next couple of years, music is going to become absolutely free. I don't think like this can keep going on when we're living in a digital world where we do have DJs that do want to stream on Instagram, that do want to stream on Twitch, that do want to stream on Facebook, YouTube, whatever the platform may be. We can't keep blocking creativity from happening. Eventually, there's going to be more that we can get out of it than blocking it and saying, oh, this artist needs to get paid. Because like you said, how much money would they have made off of those 25, that 8 seconds, 25,000 views?
And you're talking about pennies per listen or view or however they call it on social media. Not per play like on a radio.
Yeah.
But you know, what if you had your song out there and it's the number one, it's getting 2 billion hits and you got $0 for it, how would you feel?
Personally, me, I don't know if I'd be that bothered about it because all of my music I've released has been free. I was even selling beats at one point, and I got rid of my BeatStars account. I don't want to sell beats anymore. I want to create songs. You know, like I said, I think music is eventually going to become free. And us as creatives are going to have to find other ways to get paid off of this. The same way how back in the day you had to sell CDs, but then Spotify came out and changed that game. You know, there's a really good show. I haven't finished it, but there's a show on Netflix right now, where they're talking about the start of Spotify, and I was watching it. I'm like, it's crazy to really think about how, like, at one point we were really still using CDs and saying like, you got to buy CD, you got to go on Apple Music and pay what was that, $2 for a song? You know,
Yeah.
like, what about the kids that couldn't afford $2 a song? How were they getting their music? But now you got Spotify for $8 a month.
Yeah.
You know, so you got to come up with the other things, such as music festivals and performances and merch and things like that. You know, I went to the Kendrick concert the other day. Not only did I buy his concert ticket, but I bought almost $200 worth of his merch.
Wow.
You know, and I did
And
not.
that's where people can make it, but everybody
Yeah,
is not able to go do a concert and
no,
sell t-shirts, mugs, keychains, everything.
absolutely. But there's always going to be something that you can put out that people are going to purchase. That they will, if they really
Yeah.
support you.
They really support you.
If they
Yeah.
really support
Totally
you,
agree.
they will. There's just so many things. And even if you're not going on tour, even if you're not going a tour around, or exactly, you see, you got something. At one point, I had hats, I had t-shirts, I had all of that. You know, I slacked off from it. But you know, if people really support you, they'll go out and they'll spend the money. Mind you, I didn't buy Kendrick's new album. I just bought
Mhm.
his ticket to his show and his merch, and he made way more money from me than if I went to Walmart or Best Buy and purchased his album for $24.99.
Mhm.
Way more money. The only difference is I probably would have got like the CD sitting in my house. Like I still do have CDs. But you know, that experience is gonna stay with me for life of going to that show. That t-shirt, I'm gonna wear it till I can't wear it anymore. And I've done that at other shows, at Kanye shows. I go out, I go. First thing I do, I tell people, I'm like, yo, I gotta get there early because I gotta buy some merch.
Yeah. I
You know,
got what size you wear? I got a couple of t-shirts I need
I'm
to.
large. I'm a large.
All right, I got you.
We'll
I
talk.
got you.
We'll talk. But
Oh
no, that's
man,
it. That's it.
this has been really dope. Just hearing your story, and a lot of times I'll let some of you people into the behind the scenes, but a lot of times interviewing DJs is I've just met this person and I get on the phone, I do my due diligence, get on the phone to make sure you know how to talk and not use every word as a curse word or anything. But it is just amazing to find people such as yourself and the other 99 guests that I had on. We are at episode 99. It's still
Amazing.
unbelievable to me.
Yeah.
And and get to have a conversation so you can tell your story. People may know pieces of how you did this and what you did that, but they don't know the whole thing from when you had what was your other name?
DJ
Your other
Checkmate. Checkmate.
They don't know what you was thinking about that
No,
checkmate. You probably ain't tell nobody this,
nobody.
but a lot of people know now.
Yeah, I remember telling my ex at the time, and she was like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah, this the logo right here too."
Look at that face, like what?
I had
Mm.
showed her the logo and everything, and she was like, "What is that?"
But it's just good to tell these DJ stories. I'm hoping DJ Crisis will come on and
Mhm.
tell his or her story. I'm not sure of
Yeah,
the
his story. Yeah.
his story, and a whole bunch of other ones that people don't know
Mhm.
and will get to know
Right.
now. I'm
Right.
sure people in the West Coast may or may not know of you.
Right. No,
People in
absolutely.
Queens know you.
And it's funny because the
Long
DJ
Island.
community is small, man.
And
Like
yeah.
it's a very, very small community. And you know, when you do things like this, and shout out to you for putting this together and making this happen, because there is networking going on right now. And all it took was me saying, yeah, like, let me take the time out and do this. And now I'm seeing other people's names. I might not know who they are right now, but I might go somewhere else and they're like, yeah, man, like, you remember I was watching your interview. Boom.
Yeah.
Connection right there. And that goes back to working hard, man, just putting yourself in the room, like I said, not yourself, putting your name in the room. Like, that's all it takes. Just put your name in the room. You don't got to do everything. Put your name in and just make sure people know what you're doing and what you represent.
Know of you.
Yeah. And what you represent. What do you do? Because we're only an hour and 9 minutes and managed to squeeze in 11, 12 years.
Time goes so fast.
And there's so much stories too.
There's so many stories that you probably done forgot and will remember, and we'll be on here for the next 3 hours. Oh yeah, I remember this one now.
Yeah, man.
But man,
it's been a while.
Is there anyone, as we're wrapping this thing up, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely DJ Earns. I don't know if he was tuned in, but DJ Earns, shout out to him. He was one of the first people that I hit up when I got back and decided to do DJing full time. And he was already like well on his way DJing full time at this time. And he took me under his wing and decided to show me the ropes and how to DJ, how to play in certain situations, how to set equipment up, how to speak to clients, all of this stuff. And I learned a lot from him. So definitely shout out to him. Shout out to Fame too, because Fame has definitely been one of the go-tos, man. Like, learned so much from that dude too. Like, when I first started years back, he was also another one that I went to, and he's like, yeah, like, just come to my crib and I'll give you some music. I'll show you what to play. Oh, you doing a Haitian event? This is how you say you doing a Haitian event? That ain't no problem. Come on. If Christ is in here, he knows exactly what I'm talking about. But that's exactly how he said, man, just come on. I got you, no problem. But yeah, shout out to him. Shout out to Lord too. He's another person that's one of my bros right there. He definitely is. He's a rapper, so we gonna come up with something. We gonna create something. Let's leave it there. We gonna create something. And definitely want to thank you. Shout out to you for just giving me this space to speak, man. Shout out to DJ Interview, man. Because who knows what, I probably just been on my keyboard over here just playing keys right now, coming up with some ideas. So thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Oh man, no problem. I just love the DJ stories. I get people ask me all the time, yo, you getting paid for this? No. This is all love and passion.
Right.
I just love these stories. Other things happen because I have this show, but for the show itself, no. It is a passion thing to learn about other DJs, to introduce other DJs to the world.
Right.
I mean, right now we're streaming on, 17, 18 different platforms.
Wow.
And it's going to be out there.
Right.
So
and you
definitely.
never know who's going to come
across, and you never know who is listening.
Yep.
Who is listening, who is watching, who's going to watch the replay 2 years from now, 5 years from now.
Mm-hmm. So, and it's the same thing like the music I mentioned before. Like, if we keep it to ourselves, we're holding back from somebody else from growing. We don't know who that person is. We may never meet the person.
Yep.
But you put it out there. You did your part. That's why I do it.
Definitely. So, how could people reach out and stay in touch with you?
Definitely social media is the best. I'm on Instagram and Twitter. It's at it's DJ Deem. You can follow me on there. I do follow back. I'm not one of those guys that like, oh, I'm not gonna
follow me. I got 20,000 followers. I'm following too.
Yeah, I'm not that guy. You could reach out to me too. I do respond to people. You got a question, ask the question. I'm not that person that's gonna, ignore you or whatever. Like you've seen Crisis ask me. I'm like, yo, bro, hit me up. Let's talk. Like the most thing that we can do with knowledge is share it. You don't gotta be greedy with it. But yeah, definitely on hey, what's up? Definitely Instagram and Twitter at it's DJ Deem.
Nice. Everybody who if you're listening live or from the replay, give DJ Deem a thumbs up, a heart, or something there to let him know, because he dropped some what's higher than platinum? Uranium nuggets.
Diamond.
He
There we go.
dropped some uranium nuggets, and hopefully it didn't go over people's head about the networking and you know, the sales.
Yeah.
Ooh, bro.
Yeah.
Well, this is Harry the Big Dog. You're gonna stay on with me, and we just gonna close this thing out. This is
Let's
Harry
do
the
it.
Big Dog, and this is the DJ interview. We are here Tuesdays at 8ish Eastern time. 8ish is between 8:01 and 8:59 ish. And thank you for all your support over these last 99 episodes. We are coming up on the big 100 in a few weeks. I'm going to take a week off because at the time of this airing, it's Thanksgiving 2022 will be the next week. So I'm going to take off because I may be traveling. But thank you guys for all your support. Thank you, DJ Deem, for coming on next to last minute. After, you know, text tagging. So everybody, thank you much. And we'll see you on the next episode.
Peace.